So yeah, man, if you guys do not know us, we are just a podcast that mainly talked about One Piece for a very long time. We started branching into other anime, and that's what we've been doing this year. So we decided to do a panel. A couple people were asking us about it. It was one of our goals, and we finally hit one of our goals. So we are very happy to be here with all of you. So thank you for coming. Yeah. So whoever wants to come to the mic, you're more than welcome. Yeah. All right.
You guys have Sabo at Admiral level right now.
No.
I scaled the narrative, so I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah.
No, I think I would too.
But like the green boy apples, not like the big boys.
Green boy apples.
If Sabo's not at Admiral level now, then what's the point of him?
What's the point?
I mean, it's the same argument we have for Blackbeard.
Oh my god.
Is it not?
Yo, we not even 2 minutes in.
He not there either. Not yet, at least, but I would say the same thing for Sabo. See, the thing about Rob is, Rob believes, like, if you train every day, all of a sudden you're right there with the best of them. You gotta get in the game first. But we talk about practice.
Listen, I think Sabo's Admiral level. Like, he can box with an Admiral. I don't know if he's beating any of them, but he could definitely give them like a hard diff to extreme diff fight, I think we troll the feat of being in Imu's palace a lot, but he still survived the situation. And like Lauren said, just narratively, if he's not already here, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So
To me, I don't think he did that bad against Fuji anyway.
and he just got his Delphi powers like that day, and he was specifically using them in that fight. So I'm just credit.
I kind of agree with them. I don't think he's Admiral level yet either, but the fact that he blocks with Fuji, that's good, because he didn't went all out, but like, the fact he's able to do that, because you see how fast the ends pick up people, and Sabo was not. So Sabo could scale up to that. Again, over time, he could definitely continue on.
No, maybe.
What do y'all, or how do y'all rate Rox character-wise? What is your opinion on Rox as a character? Top 5 character, not just strength, but as a
overall, like
rated character. How do you
Like
like
as a person?
Yeah, just how do you like him? Like, is he in your top 5 most favorite characters, or you're not really liking the way his story's unfolding? How do y'all feel? Is my question. I'll just say real quick, I personally am a big Rox fan now, top 5, one of my favorite characters now.
Rox is number 1, undoubtedly. He's the only person we've ever seen in the entire show walk up into Marijo itself, look at Imu in the face, and say, "Yo, I'm coming back to take your crown." That is the hardest thing we've ever seen in One Piece ever. That's crazy. Like, if there's anybody that was ever as close to Luffy as Luffy is right now, it would be Rox. Like, he does what Luffy is going to do. Like, all the government, like, hide-ups for all of his accomplishments, erasing his name, being probably the strongest part we've ever seen besides Joy Boy. It's like, Luffy is reaching that level, but doing it in the right way, right? Rox is doing it by himself. The same way Odin tried to do it by himself, and then Odin lost against Kaido and Wano. But Luffy, his special power is bringing everybody together. That's what Joy Boy is. I would say Rox is Joy Boy without the fruit. It's just that he's doing it in his way because he doesn't let prophecy tell him what's going to happen to his life. He's deciding, well, I'm going to create my own prophecy and screw this prophecy that's on Hellbath, screw this prophecy of Joy Boy. Like, they failed. I'm going to win. And unfortunately, something happens which hasn't been clarified yet. What happens, but if it happens to be over a woman named Shaggy, then, you know, it's happened in real life, right? Like, men have gone to war over a woman. And that's just the reality, and Oda's trying to, I guess, bring that back into focus, so.
Listen, that's all nice what he said about Rox. It's cool. As long as y'all don't rate him over Roger, we good. That's my thing. Y'all have gone gone way too far with the Rock's glaze and the Rock's hype. It's still Roger's story. It's still Roger's treasure. He's still the greatest pirate of all time, to our knowledge. And every single one of them Rock's pirates, when they fell, when they met their end, whether it be Shiki, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, etc., Roger was who they thought about, not Ross. So I don't want to knock the dude. I think he's great. I'm not putting him in top 5 conversations as far as characters in One Piece. We have too many characters there. Too many great characters. I don't know how it's going to go yet with him. But as long as y'all scale it back with the over Roger, we good.
Listen, man, Rox wasn't bending over in front of Whitebeard saying, yo, please let me
See
have
that's
my crew.
you see his problem?
He was like, yo, he on my crew, he gonna listen what I'm gonna say. Whitebeard, go get some treasure.
And that's why his crew lost.
That's not right.
That's why his crew lost. Them 2 crews went hell by one.
It's because of Shaggy, baby.
Hey, bro. Don't blame the woman.
Her greatness determined the rest of the pirate era.
Wow, bro.
The thing about Roger is Roger had the ability to go get executed, and then they were like, yo, you're allowed to speak on this wide podium in front of everybody, tell them where the One Piece is. Meanwhile, Rox didn't have that favor. He just got obliterated.
Roger chose how he died. He was able to choose his death. He turned himself into the Marines, and he made the speech. Rox's light went out before he wanted to. Roger died on his own terms.
It sounded like the Marines didn't think he was that much of a threat.
Oh my God.
Who?
Roger? Go ahead, bro.
They don't think
We don't remember. These are the dudes that found the One Piece, and then all of a sudden it said, yo, let me go hide in a well. Let me go cheat on Shaggy for years to come. Let me go sit on Elbaf and be a good dad. They did nothing for the rest of the pirate era because they said to themselves, we're not capable of that.
That's not
Where
true.
Rox and the Rox Pirates said, yo, we don't follow those
You
rules.
just up here lying.
I'm not, yo, watch, you're gonna see.
No,
I'm telling you.
20 years, bro. You really took out the 20 years in consideration.
Thank you. The
They
whole
had to
timeline.
wait regardless. Like, they couldn't do anything.
And that's the thing, they chose to do nothing.
They let out the next generation.
What was I supposed to do? Roger was dying from an illness. I'm supposed to wait the 20 years until Shirahoshi is of age?
I mean, there was like a whole generation of
I'm dying!
unborn babies getting slaughtered by Sengoku.
You said you said he wasn't a threat to the Marines, but that was you.
I mean, they're gonna try to kill his offspring to make a
Roger
point.
came very much alive.
Alright, so hold on. We're not gonna avoid the fact that Roger literally stated, this is the greatest pirate age. One Piece is real. Everybody flew out. And they were like, yo, he having a kid? Let's kill all these unborn babies.
Yeah, that's the threat he posed
That
to
wasn't
the
a threat. He
world.
wasn't a threat.
That's the threat he posed to the
The
world.
government was like, yo, we need to put fear into people from them becoming pirates.
If you really think that them taking out any possible Roger line is because they weren't scared of Roger's threat of his offspring, that's crazy.
Why ain't go after Whitebeard, yo?
Whitebeard
Ace was alive, they knew that.
Whitebeard wasn't known to have any kids. And just the thought of Roger having kids, they took out that entire line.
They knew.
The second they realized Ace is Roger's kid, he on the chopping block.
Yeah.
It's immediate. Oh, we got Ace? We're willing to go to war with Whitebeard to get rid of Roger's lineage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, y'all blaming Rocks for Shaggy. Look what Shaggy did to Roger. Had him on his back.
So they had He had Rocks doing chores. Like, he was talking about Roger on his back. This dude was like, we'll clean your bar for you.
That wasn't Rocks. That wasn't
It
Rocks.
took Rocks to
No.
At least Roger.
All Rocks said, he was like, yo, it smelled good in here. That's what he said.
They all stopped pirating for a little bit.
And you would. Shaggy was out here looking good.
But okay, what I want to add, right? Before when you talk about the whole Roxy and Roger, right? One thing you got to add that yes, as in why Rox and Luffy resemble each other, but remember you got to think it's probably similar to how Blackbeard and Luffy kind of resemble each other, right? Because it's not exactly Luffy and Rox, but it's more like how Blackbeard's kind of like the dark version of Luffy. But you have Rox who kind of shows that more because he's the conqueror and he's the one that kind of goes after what he wants, trying to get that freedom. But Blackbeard kind of has that kind of hint of cowardly in him, but doesn't really go things about the way Luffy would, right? But also remember, the main difference too between them two, as Rox was communicating all these powerful hitters, none of them, not one of them, were loyal to Rox, right? Every single one of Roger's crewmates would die for him because they were loyal for him and to him. Rox couldn't pull that. That's the difference. That's why on the crew, this crew's not going to last for long because they didn't have that loyalty that Roger had. And that's what also makes Roger greater, because he had these dudes that viewed him as a partner, a brother, a friend, their family. So the main thing that you had that strong crew, and that's why Roger's crew was so dangerous, because you had that unity in that crew that nothing could break them. The slightest pebble or anything, you had legit them trying to screw each other over for money.
Yeah.
The pocket had to try doing that work. Roger had a crew that they wouldn't do that for each other.
I saw 2 crewmates on Luffy's crew betray him, bro.
Oh, God.
Betray him?
I'm saying.
Betray him?
How do we have a podcast about Luffy with these fundamental misunderstandings, bro?
Listen, I saw what Usopp did. Y'all saw it? Y'all saw what Usopp did? We saw what Sanji did.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
wow.
I'm saying, man.
Don't forget Nami.
Saying, man. I saw what they did to Luffy. And he gonna be better than all of them, right? A little betrayal ain't nothing, as long as you're able to handle it.
Cut his mic, Bob.
Do you think Captain Kid should get the respect that he should in the type of way he has? Because not only he did fight a big mom who I feel was very overrated, to be honest with you, because she has a bunch of hockey, but she hasn't really displayed all her full hockey. That's really seen it on a very short term. Because, you know, Big Mom has observation, conqueror, and you feel me? We really didn't see observation, you feel me? So I feel like this. Should Captain Kid get the respect that he deserves on the show? I just want to see it. Should he? I feel like he should. Because he has, like, I said this before, and I still stand by it. I still feel like he has similarities, not all of it, but he has similarities of Magneto, but he does a couple of things that I feel like that's very a power-hitting move. Even though it was like ball playing, but he still was a very fundamental person. I feel like he played a really good role in the One Piece world. So, do you think he should have more respect? Or are you just gonna be like, nah, just get him the hell out of here, because, you know, we all saw what Shanks did him, you know what I'm saying? So, how y'all feel? How do you feel?
Oh, y'all looking at me. All right. I believe Kid deserves way more respect than he gets in the One Piece community.
Talk about it.
I will never bash a character for losing fights against people much stronger than you.
Because that was the case, you'd be mad about all, right?
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that have boxed above their weight class and just weren't successful. I think Kid is actually a pretty well-written character. We just gotta get a little bit more from him. I've been arguing with Lionel for the past week about whether he could beat Katakuri in a fight.
He can't.
Ooh, because actually you're talking about a person whose observation is superior to Big Mom.
We can talk about that another day, but in general, we can talk about it here if you want to, but in general, I think a lot of people ignore how Kid's written. They believe some of the rumors that are even out there about him, like losing to Sweet Commanders and things like that. And they run with that narrative because it's more fun to trash Kid, the Trash Man, etc. than it is to actually observe and see how he's been written. This is the only other supernova that's consistently fighting Yonkos and First Commanders. And yes, he's losing, but he's not Luffy, right? Like, there's supposed to be a difference between the two. And I have respect for him because he's always going to continue that fight no matter what. And like, he just has to get stronger to get to the point that we need to view him in that light that I want. I acknowledge he is too weak to be viewed in the light he wants, but...
Yeah, because I see his face, he's crushed, he's weird right now. There's a lot you want to say right now.
I always respect a dude willing to fight above his weight class, and Kid's one of those guys. So I think he deserves more respect. I don't know that they'll give him that up here, but I give him.
Come on, fellas, can we give him respect?
Well, the thing is, to me, I guess what level of respect you want the Kid to have. Like,
You know, this is what I say, because I feel like he did willing to step above class or way beyond by a lot of people. There's no denying about it. We literally, I forgot the one who literally just popped up out of nowhere eating the talk about. And I just feel like when he came to Kid, they were like the first 3 generations at the main, you know, before pre-time skip, they were the first 3 standing against all the Marines and all eyes to introduce themselves. So I feel like, you know, they all went in different routes of each way of they're going to the new world and stuff. So I just feel like when each of them went to a different road or route, Luffy, because we all know how Luffy is with his family, and Luffy literally has more help than all the others. Let's call it this, right? And I just feel like when you look at Kid is like something that's kind of like building as he goes and trying to go around the world, but his main thing was always going to try to be the best, trying to top the best. So I can understand where it's like, I don't respect him too much because you're constantly losing, but I see you want to aim for the stars. But now he finally got where he got where he
one of the young ones, I feel like we should give him more respect than it actually should be at this particular moment. I'm not asking for putting him as an emperor or something. I'm just saying, just give him some respect, some grace. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't just trash him. Because then it's like, oh, then that means we feel like that about Vegeta, but that's a different problem.
No, I understand. I get that. So for me, I don't really disrespect Kid. Like, the only was like when Sebastian goes out there, when he's putting him above where I think he's at, that's where I'll kind of push back on it. Because to me, Kid's a prime example of someone who didn't live up to his potential. Not that he was weak or anything, but like the potential he could be as a character, and strength-wise, he didn't get there yet because he was cut off too early, right, by Shanks. Because part of him is he kept going after things that he wasn't ready for. Luffy does that too, but the thing with Luffy is actively, we see him growing in these things pretty quickly. Like even in the Wano fight, we saw Law grow by recognizing what's needed in hockey and access. We don't really see that aspect from Kid as growing to these occasions, but he keeps doing the same simple thing over and over, why his potential is being stopped. And now he keeps going after these things like rocks. I have big, grand ideas and ambitions, but you gotta grow there first before you can go after that. And if you're gonna go after it, you gotta grow while you're doing it. The Kid's not doing it, and that's why I'm kind of holding back a little bit from like higher than he could be.
He's just somebody that shouldn't have had the spotlight on him. That's really what it is. Shouldn't have had that much spotlight, bro. He wasn't ready for the show.
No, I ain't even mad at that. I think a lot of what said, because I know in the beginning he's still up there and we had high hopes of potential for Kid. I'm not knocking Kid for losing, because again, Luffy has a lot of losses. So even Tyler has a lot of losses. But I also know that what you were learning or growing from the losses. Like, it's unfair. I understand that Luffy got training, Kid didn't. So Luffy's knowledge of hockey and like his able to grow with his hockey in his fights is different compared to Kids, because Kids doesn't understand that knowledge. Like, even in the Wano, Kid said, you could hurt Tyler with hockey. He was that concept. Kid didn't know or understand. So I'm not knocking Kid for those things, but again, the progress. Like, all right, like, first of all, I don't know how much Law got training in hockey. He got training back from Manga, but like Law said before, Law just acknowledged that, yo, with strong, intense hockey, I could negate this ability. Law's getting comprehending or understanding that concept. I don't know where Kid's level is at. Is he still relying on his ability? Like, and even in his awakening, he still has much to grow. So like, he needs a lot to grow in his fights in general. And it shows like his losses, he's not even doing it. And the fight even with Big Mom, he had so much help that you could argue that the attacks that Kid was doing on Big Mom, were they really hurting him? Hurting her. Because Law was doing the awakening attack. So it's just like, there's a lot of negatives, unfortunately, for Kid. And that's what I argue. He's not ready yet. He needs to grow, and hopefully he does grow. But now it's just with Shanks, we can see if he's gonna grow. Because we don't know if he's in the story.
Let him swim with the fishes, man.
Nah, keep coming back, man. Keep coming back.
That's it, man.
Keep coming back.
He got it, man. He likes Sabo. Stop.
Yo, stop. If you guys could predict which one of the Straw Hats do you think will die by the end of the show?
So the One Piece community is so funny sometimes, because like we'll be having this question even after it's apparently answered by Oda.
Yeah.
And when Oda said that, the Going Merry ended up passing away during Oda stuff. So they're like, yo, it's the Going Merry. And that's fair, right? That's a Straw Hat member for sure. But after that, if he wasn't talking about the ship, who is it actually?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it was always going to be Eustass. In order to be a brave warrior of the sea, you can't just one day go, hey, I'm brave. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, right? If that was the case, yo, he could just do something brave right now on Elbath. And we'd be like, all right, you made your dream. Your dream is successful. We don't know. Listen, we don't know if he's going back to Kai. You know, cooking with Kai? No.
Oh my God.
So it's like, you don't even know shit. What I'm saying is, overall, for Usopp, sometimes we go, who has the hardest dream in the crew? And based upon that much adversity to reach that goal, is who we determine who has the hardest dream. And for me, I sometimes believe you can have the whole blue, you can become king of the pirates, you could, become the world's strongest swordsman, but At the end of the day, it's like they're risking their lives. Meanwhile, Usopp is probably going to have to give his life to accomplish his dream. And I think there's a lot of poetry in that. Because in order to be brave, sometimes you have to make the hardest choice. And sometimes the other crew members are not going to have that choice, right? Because they have the strength, one, right? They have the ability to overcome. Sometimes in order to be brave, you have to fall. And I think with Usopp, that's perfect for him. Because then he becomes the legend that everybody believes he is. That copper stone that's on, Greenbin, that will be solidified now. And I think that's the best way to end Usopp's journey after he links up with Kai. Who knows? Maybe. But for me and Kai, like, she's so out of the story for me. Like, But I think sometimes we get so disappointed in Usopp. We're so disappointed in Usopp. He hasn't done anything for, like, how many arcs? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all like, yo, it's Elbaf. Elbaf is here. This is Usopp's arc. And what has Usopp done?
Oh, God. It's early. It's early, man. Now, I will say, I do agree with Larry that Usopp's the only one that can accomplish his dream via death. So if he was if Oda was to take out a straw hat, it would be Usopp in some sacrificial way for Luffy. I think that could be magnificently written. I don't know if I would like to see it. I know I'm the kill everybody guy, but like, I love Usopp.
Sebastian want 5 people dead every arc.
Yeah.
Every arc.
It'd be nice. But it's one of the heartstrings that Oda could still pull on that I think could actually get me to cry reading it.
It would make me cry.
I think I would cry.
Yeah.
I agree with them a lot because, like, if you see all the arcs of Usopp's in, he's constantly battling and tiptoeing, running away or being a great warrior. Like, you saw it heavily in the Death also. You saw it even more in the manga, where he was even to say, like, tell Nami to lie for Luffy's dream to become the pirate king. So, just say that so you can survive. Like, while Nami's not willing to do it, Usopp's willing to do it. So Oda keeps on tiptoeing that way. The loyalty, Usopp's willing to give up for his captain. He's always, fight or struggle. But when he does reciprocation, it's beautiful. But he still doesn't measure up to the great warrior to see. So, like, going off that, like, how Oda writes it, it could lead to him doing something like, heart-wrenching. Like, Usopp really showed how much he believed in sacrifice for Luffy, but might end up leading to his death because how much he's struggling, the people that are fighting is getting stronger. So, again, as he progresses, he's going to be in the same boat over and over again, fighting stronger time. So it's like him surviving is going to be like almost nearly impossible.
He's the only person we relate to on a human level. Because we wouldn't want to go up the up-knock stream.
I don't relate.
Don't even front up the up-knock stream. There's no way I would do that. We would all have the same reaction. We are terrified.
I don't know, man.
Get us off the ship.
I've been skydiving.
Nah, Scott is what? No. But, yeah.
If I had to say, I would say it'll probably be either Usopp or Jinbei.
Jinbei,
that's racist.
No.
That's racist. No, that's racist. I don't with that.
I'm only saying that because he has like that personality where he puts everybody else before him. Like he's honorable. Like him.
But would y'all care though?
Yes. That's racist.
Hold on. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's fish fillet.
What type of who's who behavior is this?
I'm talking, if Oda's gonna clip a straw hat, it's gotta be one of
the 5.
Yeah.
That's the one.
We're talking about Jinbei, bro. I'm not trying to knock the guy.
I agree. Somebody you gotta really care about.
Honestly, at the end of the show, because you guys mentioned at the end of the show, it's a possibility it could also be Luffy. Like, after he chooses his dream.
He already died. He died like 3 times already. It's played out.
How would
Played
that?
out. Now we get somebody else.
Finally being able to that.
Nah.
I need to ask, with everything Larry just said about rocks, and what all you guys are saying about rocks, considering this coalition and where they went wrong, and how we look at Luffy, how do we feel about Dragon moving forward? He's kind of, I'm saying what you're saying, but Dragon's going out where, rocks ain't getting right at. His manpower went right, you know what I'm saying? So what do you feel about Dragon for real? No slander.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Which way is he?
Nothing. Yeah, which way is he?
Damn.
Anybody got a compass?
So we're not narrative guys here? Nobody on the panel's narrative?
What can we say?
What's going on?
I stand with the narrative, so I assume Dragon is like that, right? I remember a while back we tried to do a top 30 stream and we do 2K rating as to how strong a person is. I said minimum 90 for Dragon and I wanted to say minimum 94, right? At a scale of 100. So I think Dragon's gonna be like that. When it's his time to be the guy, he's gonna show out. But until then, he's gonna get trolled, bro.
No, but see, what I'm necessarily meaning is, what do you think it means for him in the narrative of what he's going to do, or like, not really he's taken out, but do you see an alliance with Luffy possibly in the future? Do you think his coalition is going to matter in the overall picture of this?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like, what do y'all think?
He'll be the Whitebeard, and that'll be like in the final war. You know how in Marine 4, Luffy couldn't go for save Ace with just himself and the people he had in go down. He needed a huge fighting force to help support him. Dragon's probably going to lead that fighting force in my mind. And then Luffy will have basically everybody else helping too, but he'll need the revolutionary army to overthrow the world government at the end of the day.
Yeah, and honestly, because I have high expectations for Dragon. I think his character, because we're so used to a pirate doing something and a pirate mindset and us both shows and impulsive Luffy and pirates like that being. But we see Dragon, he's not like that at all. He's kind of the opposite of them, who's actually thinking about other people and the world all the time. So we think about Luffy's dream, right? But we don't know how Luffy would kind of put that into, like, not force, but like make that actually accomplish it, right? I think Dragon could be kind of the driving force that helps him achieve that dream on a world scale, because the whole world needs to change from the way it is now with the world government ruling it, the mindset and how they're doing things. So I think Dragon plays a role even after Luffy's dream, kind of how mankind, I guess, in the One Piece world deals with each other.
Okay.
I'll keep it a buck. Dragon is not needed in the story.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep it, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
I'll let you spit, but how do you disagree?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. One, he ain't crash out for Kuma to get Jenny back, alright? One, that could have been very easy. Two, the reason why Dragon's not needed is because Sabo is here. He's the Emperor. Everything that Sabo can do, Dragon should have been able to do. But if Dragon's not able to do it, then Sabo can. So there's really no reason for Dragon to be in the story besides him being what? The son of Monkey D. Garp. The father of Monkey D. Luffy. If he wasn't attached to those two people, he'd be just some other dude on the sea.
Oh my god. But he raised Sabo.
You know Sabo, literally raised Sabo, trained Sabo. He's the one giving Sabo orders. Like we just cutting Dragon out.
You know who was raising Sabo? Ivankov, Hack, and Kuma. Those are the two people. Dragon don't even raise Sabo.
Yo, if there's no dragon, Sabo dies in the water. So I don't understand what we're doing here, man. I don't understand.
Dragon don't spin for nobody. He don't spin for nobody.
He's not a pirate.
He don't spin for nobody.
Don't you because he's from the east side, bro. Come on, it'd be like that. It'd be like that.
Anything that needs to be accomplished should be accomplished by Sabo moving forward. If it becomes to familial ties, cool, yo. Dragon got it. I'm interested. Wherever you are, cool. We don't even know who his endgame opponent would be, because we know he ain't banging out with Emu or Blackbeard. That's gonna go to Luffy. When it comes to Akainu, who took out Ace, most likely that's gonna be with Sabo, right? Where is he fitting into that picture? Because even
you know, Garland's an issue. You know, that's a.
Garland's just another go-to member.
You think? See what we doing?
And the biggest question is, right? It's like, all right, let's just say like Dragon did accomplish his goal.
Right.
Okay, so there's a vacuum that happens within world governments. So who's gonna take over after?
This is why I personally believe the Revolutionary Army is going to get integrated, maybe with the Navy. They're going to figure something out moving forward, and that's how it's going to work. Even with the whole like reverie system, I think VV is going to become like a person on the council for real. Like it's going to be one of those type of diplomatic situations. Because a lot of this One Piece stuff is IRL, like it's happening, you know. So it's not too oblivious to think this is going to happen or that's going to happen. I feel like the narrative is painting this picture the way it is. Dragon not being essential is crazy. When you look at all the fathers for One Piece, not One Piece, for anime period, whether it's Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Full Metal, Attack on Titan, all the dads matter to the plot, narrative, and for strength. They all matter. So I just can't count Dragon.
So what makes him qualified then?
What makes him qualified?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you don't remember, when Vivi and her people, the Alabasas, they took over Alabasta from somebody else. Why we don't look at them as evil? So putting Vivi in that position, yeah, she's a good person, I guess, but like, what else?
Yeah, I guess.
What else? Like, say she's
I didn't know he was going to be like that.
That's not what
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah, they
what are we
did.
doing?
They abdicated the throne when they left. And
Talk about it, Sam. Talk about it, Sam.
They took over during the whole back. It was like chapter 253.
Bro, the Nefertaris have ran the kingdom since way back. They didn't leave to go as one of the 20. They stayed back. They've been in control of Alabasta for like 800 something years.
That's fact.
Before Alabasta was created, there was also people that lived there before that. Alabasta took them over.
We can't speak to them until we see it for real.
Why do you think it was one of the 20 kingdoms?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Vivi, though.
Yeah, I was about to say this.
Hey, man.
That's back in Lily's time. Man.
Yeah.
Look, I get you.
So I wanted to ask what your thoughts are on the color of the Hagoromo stars. Like, how you guys feel, like why some have white and some have black when they're awakened?
This was a great topic we talked about at one time when we first saw so my prediction was that if Luffy's was white, then if Lucci's is black, then it depends on like the dreams of the devil fruit. So Vegapunk once stated that his theory was the reason why devil fruits are created throughout the world is because it's a collective desire amongst a mass amount of people, basically, right? And then through this mass belief spawns this devil fruit, which is then a dream of the people. So when a person eats it, right, they become that dream. So devil fruits usually go to the people that best fit that dream. It was stated basically when the Gorosei were like, oh, this Gomu Gomu no Mi has evaded us through its own will. So we know devil fruits have wills. So for us, it was like, okay, so devil fruits are going to always go to the person that best suits them. So when you look at Doflamingo, he controls strings. He's a manipulator of the world. When you look at Ace, he's a fiery person, right? Luffy wants to be the most free. That's kind of like his dream, so he gets the Gomu Gomu. So it's like, who can take that devil fruit and accomplish what they need to accomplish? But based upon that dream, is it an evil dream or is it a good dream? Because people who suffer aren't the only people who have dreams. Evil people also have dreams. I want to be able to turn people into liquid or do something of that nature. So based upon those dreams, it goes to certain people, and their evil or good desires then flourish through the awakening. They become more of that dream. So if Lucci's thing is, I'm a killer, I kill things, his becomes dark. Whereas somebody like Luffy's becomes white. And then there are questions like, well, you've seen like
Summers or Killingham, whichever one has the
yeah,
white
most
one.
likely theirs are probably going to be black too.
Well, he has a white one. They showed his awakened.
They showed the official color scheme for it?
Well, I mean, in the black and white panels, it's white. They showed it when they came to Elba. That's my only pushback on it, because that's what I assumed also. It's evil and good, unless he's a traitor or something, but it's the only white scarf we've seen on somebody that's portrayed as evil.
Well, I was about to bring that too up because with Caesar Clown. Caesar Clown, if you ever look at him, when he's on Black Hazard, he has the scarf as a Logia, and we know that Logias aren't Zoans. Zoans are the only ones that we've seen have the scarves. But then we look at Nell on Sky Island. When he went into his awakened form at the end when Luffy like punched him through the bell, he also had a scarf, and it was white. So it really depends, I'm guessing, just on the person's dream and how much they go to accomplish that dream. And if it's truly awakened, because we know Caesar Clown wasn't awakened.
So, and I know you guys have touched on this, but it's just my follow-up. So, like, why don't we see people like Kaido or Big Mom, like, technically awakened? Like, you know.
Why don't you see Kaido awakened?
Yeah, why don't we see, like, Kaido awakened? Like, I know you guys have touched on this briefly, but, like, it's like, you know, like what, there's gotta be some, you know, consequence to it, right? Or something, because...
Well, me and Lawrence are big believers that Kaido had an awakening. He just wanted to be defeated by Joy Boy.
Yeah.
Once he
that's
noticed...
Such cold.
No, it's not cold.
That's like simping harder than Sanji, though. Like,
well, that's
like, come on.
No.
That's a mega Sanji upgrade.
No, that's a part of his... That was a part of his mindset. Kaido never fought people unless he felt that they were worthy of his strength. He had future sight in his back pocket the whole time. And then when he noticed Luffy started using it, that's when he started using it. When Luffy was using Conquerors, he started using Conquerors. It was throughout the whole fight. He only fights to his comp. So for me, I was like, yo, he started to notice, like, yo, this person's Joy Boy. Like, this is the person I want to fight. And plus, if you all remember, he wanted to lose in a great battle. He wanted to become like Whitebeard. He was jealous of Whitebeard. He was jealous of the way, in fact, he went out. So he said, yo, I want something grander than that. He even tried to go to Marineford to feel that. And then he was like, yo, he reached Joy Boy, which is probably something that Rox was probably trying to obtain through Herald, and was like, yo, I'm going to get defeated by this guy. I guarantee you he was awakened, but he just didn't use it.
So do you think in his awakened form, he's crushing Luffy no dick?
Yeah, he still beats Luffy now.
For sure. Because I'll even add to that, because I think that too.
Anyone else?
Because like part of it is like, if you look at Kaido, he would let himself get hit a lot because he kind of didn't really feel any damage. He wouldn't take much damage. Now imagine him in his awakened form. How much damage is he really taking? So he kind of wanted to battle someone where you could feel that he's in a fight. That's what he wanted. He wanted to fight someone truly strong that can match him. That's why like, he kind of looked down on Luffy and didn't believe he was there until Luffy kind of got there, right? And then when he kind of started realizing at the end that he might be Joy Boy, he got knocked into madness. So like, if he got from the start that he knows how strong this person is, like it would be like a Rox, a Roger, or Whitebeard, he would probably go awaken from the get because this is someone that could actually harm me. I could go all out and like, you know, face this great battle or war, even death that he wants.
One Piece is a great story. It's got several adaptations. We got a live action one, a remake of the anime coming. The anime's popping off right now. But story-wise, what is the worst thing you think has happened in the One Piece story? You're like, if this wasn't included or if this was changed, not counting Dragon, what do you think you would change about one thing about the One Piece story that you think would make it better overall from what we have right now?
Hell. 100%.
I know Lawrence has a big ace in
I feel like it would have added more to the story if Oda didn't give us the Joy Boy that it was Luffy right away. That he kind of added more, like since he kept Ace alive, then they kind of hid it behind who is the actual Joy Boy candidate, you know? Because I think we got that it was Luffy as soon as we found out who Joy Boy was, like a few arcs later. But we kind of hid behind it, like, all right, who's this? People believe this person's Joy Boy, this person's Joy Boy. Then we find who actually fits the dream more. And it'll be more impactful that, all right, it's Luffy. You know, I think that would have added to the story more.
Usopp's dad. He get too much glaze, bro. He abandoned his family.
Y'all get glaze? Who? Where?
They be like, yo, Yasa, bro. Oh my god, like in the story itself. Nah, bro. We come from a community where that's not allowed, yo. You gotta be a good dad, you gotta be present. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a positive impact in your life, for your kid's life, and Yasa gets all this glaze, and I don't get it.
So good father, good character then? Good father, good character?
Good father, good character. What, him?
Yeah. Good father, you think would be better?
If he was a good father, yeah. He'd be up there. If he was a good father, yeah. I think he deserves the hype. You?
So which character do you think would be the best addition to the Straw Hat crew? I know there's people that, obviously BB's like an honorary Straw Hat. Personally, I want Yamato on the crew. I think we need Yamato personally. Some people want Loki. Believe it, there's still Carrot fans outside, by the way. Are there any Carrot fans? There's still, look, we got Carrot fans here too.
I'm Carrot fan.
So who do you think would be the best addition to the Straw Hat?
Carrot!
Yes. She's not too strong.
What?
She's not Yamato. Yamato's too strong for that.
A furry! We need a furry on the crew! She could be in the crow's nest too!
We can have a lookout, yeah.
She transformed into this elegant angel bunny, like, bruh, why not? We got a skeleton, we got a fishman, we got a robot. You don't want a furry on the crew? That's racist. That's racist, bro. That's racist, bro. We got every race, but you don't want a furry on? Come on, man.
No, the answer is no.
Chopper's not a furry.
Yeah. Alright, hold on. That's racist, because he's an animal. He's an actual animal. Nah, that's actually He's an animal.
So, for example, exactly.
Like a humanoid animal?
My question is a little bit outside of like the theories and stuff, and more like real world questions. So obviously One Piece has so much impact, not just United States, not just Japan, like all over the world. And I think maybe like a lot of us have seen like maybe in Indonesia they're wearing like One Piece flag around. Other countries use One Piece as a reference to like real events. So the question is like, how do you guys feel about it? Because I think like the best term for it is like fan activism, where you use like not social media, like media and different things like that, and apply it to real world, but then you use symbols from that media to like, kind of like make impact. So how do you feel about that?
People want change.
Facts.
Yeah.
I think people want change. And I think any type of symbolism that represents freedom and change, they're going to gravitate towards. And I think it's a very beautiful thing.
To me, because One Piece does that, it transcends manga in a way that most manga can't do. Now, some have tried, and some have fell flat on their face trying to do it, but because One Piece has that unifying factor to it, when it's talking about real world problems, real world struggle, real world just atrocities, and how it tackles it, I think is why I look at it as a medium that's transcended manga. But, yeah.